IRS Jackboots remind everyone to report their PayPal transactions or get audited. Now, when it first came out that Biden was gonna hire 87,000 new IRS people, then I mean we knew it wasn't gonna be anything good. You know, he tried to say it was just gonna be coming after so-called rich folks and for them cutting taxes and stuff like that. But that's not what that's for. It's for the middle class. It's to tax the middle class. It's to come after you for every single penny to make sure it's accounted for. Even though the IRS been taking in record numbers of taxpayer money for the past few years now, they want more. And again, we don't have a money problem, a taxation problem. We have a government spending problem. But instead of them cutting how much they spend, they want to take in more money, which the American people really don't have. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Now, when you hit that alarm bell, you can change it from personal to all. That way, you get all notifications from when I'm putting out stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here, and there's also a link to my Instagram where I talk about even more news and I put out even more news. So check that out as well. All right, let's talk about this news here. Americans who earn at least $600 a year through PayPal will have to report their transactions to the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, the agency said today. Failure to comply with the new rule could result in an audit, and you know you don't want them poking around in your business. But in a reminder to taxpayers, the IRS said that anyone who performs transactions through, quote, third party payment facilitators like Venmo and PayPal will have to report those transactions in a form called Form 1099K. This also applies to payments received through apps like Zelle and Cash App. According to the agency, the IRS is interested in transactions involving part time work, gigs, and the scale of merchandise online, such as eBay and Etsy sales. It doesn't apply to non commercial payments like reimbursements for food or rent or one off transactions like selling an old piece of furniture, however. Prior to the rule, which was instated by the Biden administration, the threshold for filing a Form 1099K report was at least 200 transactions amounting to at least $20,000. The rule comes following Congress' passage of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, which had a provision to lower the reporting threshold to $600. See, this is what I was talking about. This is what they want. They want to go after every single penny, and I remember when they asked the Treasury about it, and she was like, "Oh no, this is to go after rich Americans." I can't remember her name. It escapes me right now. But she was like, "No, it's to get the money from rich folks." So why did you lower the threshold from 20,000 to 600 if you're going after if you only going after rich people or millionaires and stuff? I mean, millionaires not really worried about $600 is nothing to them. So why don't you keep the threshold at 20,000? It's because we know the answer to that because they're going after people like you and me. The Biden administration said that it hopes to crack down on tax evaders who do not report on the full extent of their income, such as those who work in the gig economy. As detailed by the New York Post, the proposal was made as a way to pay for the 3.5 trillion social spending bill to invest in climate change initiatives among other programs. So again, that's why they're taxing you. To facilitate the crackdown on tax evaders, President Biden passed the Inflation Reduction Act, which had a provision that sees around 87,000 additional IRS agents. Despite the increase in taxes, the Biden administration claims that any American who earns less than $400,000 a year will not have to pay any additional taxes. A fib that Republicans who remain a minority in the Senate continue to call out. I mean, it's just lies on top of lies. And of course, he get away with these lies because the mainstream media keeps on protecting him and not calling him out on his lies. And again, this is an attack on the middle class. Has nothing to do with going after rich folks. So rich folks, that's why they pay all that money for their lawyers and their um, accounting teams to cut so they can find ways to not have to pay these taxes. This is to go after you and me. But let me know what you think. Leave comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.